again with another live stream, and after my last live stream today, I was just going to reboot, and then I realized, oh, I need to eat supper. It's supper time, so I ate supper and took the trash out, and it's cold outside. I didn't realize it got cold. Wind was blowing, and I came back in to look at the temperature. Well, the temperature, that comes up on the internet close to me was 39. But I have an indoor-outdoor thermometer, and I turned it on, and on the outdoor, and it was 41. So that wind was really. I put a jacket on. Well, I went into the garage, to get the trash ready, and I thought this is pretty chilly. I'm getting me a jacket. Usually, I don't unless I really need it. Well, I was glad I did when I got out there. It was windy because I had to make 3 trips out there, and. I was surprised because, our weather gets so warm. I mean, it goes from 80 degrees to below freezing, in a matter, in one day nowadays. It's usually at least 2 at the most. They don't take long. Back and forth. Usually it's been staying around, 50 to 60 lately, and then it'll go down to freezing or something. But anyway, check that stream. I just realized I haven't checked it. Okay, well, it's working, but it's yellow. It's not green. That little line telling you the health. Usually, it gets better. I just have to try to remember to keep an eye on it. I usually have my laptop right there where the Acer is, and I can keep, I can just glance at it. And if I do need to turn my head or see the whole screen, that's easy to do. But with it, 90, now it's green. And the other thing is I turn completely away from the mic. I have to turn that far to see it, because I've got the Acer there, and so the only way I could plug out my VGA cable is not long enough to go any further, so I had to put the Dell that I watch my stream with over there. So anyway, it matters to me. I went up to the browser because I decided what I'm fixing to do is boot it up to the Fedora 29 installer again and see if I can install on the hard drive. In the previous video, I repartitioned that drive and moved. I used GParted. I had to set up a Fedora 29 live system so that I could do that because the hard drive's in the laptop, and I didn't want to take it out. Or I do have a hard drive adapter I could use, but I didn't want to take it out again. So I made Fedora 29 live with Mate Desktop, and then I used GParted to move the beginning of the first partition up to 20 megabytes because Adrian told me that that's a trick that can sometimes keep them working because they are constantly writing. They begin to write at the front of at the first of the hard drive, and that's where it wears out first. So I decided to try that and see if it would work. But in order to get the installer, I booted up in the installer, and it was not going to give me an option to do anything like that, even in the custom, advanced installer with the Blivit GUI partition editor. So I did it in GParted, and I moved it up 20 megabytes, and then did the Ext4 boot partition of 1 gigabyte, just like it would normally do in the installer, and then I did the rest LVM2. And so hopefully now the installer will just see that and be able to just use it because there's no files under or anything. It's just the partitions, empty partitions. So we'll see if that works without having to do any partitioning. Then it won't mess up what I just did. What did I get in here for? I want to do a search. Okay, so there's 2 searches I may want to do, but for sure I want to do this one. Still checking my. Okay, I want to make sure everything was good. Yeah, my stream's green now, so that's okay. All right, now there was something when I was looking in the BIOS earlier, a few days ago. In the like the BIOS password setup, it said the hard drive password was. I think the quickest way for me to get to, let's go to YouTube. Well, that wasn't going to work. I want to go to my videos because I have titled them. I guess I could, yeah, that'll be the quickest way I can think of. I'll use my quick links up there. I don't leave them up all the time because they bug the crap out of me just looking at them, but also they take up space on the screen. I don't like it. So, let's see, Acer Extensa, let's see. There it is. Well, I'm just going to copy that. Copy that, good buddy. I got a CB in the garage. I've never turned it on. It came in my van, and I took it out. Acer Extensa 4630Z, BIOS. Frozen. That's what it says in there. And at first I thought that was what the password was. How to clear the HDD frozen password. Now, I don't know if I'm going to end up having to go watch videos or if I can find it. But yes, it is a... I was starting to wonder if this was what was stopping me from being able to install an operating system on. I can format it all day long, which I don't think. Covering a frozen hard drive. But then again, I got to thinking maybe there has been, and this hard drive may have actually been in a different, in the Dell 1525. It seems to me, and my memory isn't, seems to me the Acer had the good hard drive but the broken screen, and the Dell had the good everything except for the hard drive, and I think I swapped hard drives. And then the Acer's been under the bed for years, and I pull it out once in a while and play with it, but which is basically what I may be doing now. Okay, there we go. Let's look again. This is... Yeah, that's okay. That's what it looks like. Maybe it really is frozen. Maybe there's something frozen in it that won't let it like finish writing, to the master boot record or something. I think I have overwritten the master boot record several times on that thing. Well, I thought I had. These are just keep saying solved like it's, he's... Oh, let's look at this one. Now, let's look at the first one. They all seem like they're on forums. I'd like to stay away from the forums because then you got to read through all the ifs, ands, buts about it before you get to. I'd rather find the actual documentation, I'm just missing where they're saying what to do. Is it the thing in yellow I thought was the question, but maybe it's the answer. Keep saying press F10 to save it. It says clear it and press F10 to save. Load default settings. I haven't tried loading default settings, but yeah, it won't let you edit anything in there except for the BIOS password, and I didn't go any further because I didn't want a BIOS password, you know. Oh, this is a link. Let's check this link. You gotta watch links and place. Well, you gotta watch links everywhere, but I'm gonna go ahead and check it first. Sometimes people put malicious links in because they're jerks. In places like this where people ask for help. There we go. That's a good one. Okay, now simplest to close it and open it that way. You can't just click on it from the BIOS total scan. Now this is the Acer site. There we go. Okay. Why is it so frozen in the BIOS? It may cause the Acer BIOS to be set to frozen. If the HDD password set to frozen, please follow these steps. Enter your BIOS, create a supervisor password, save the changes and reboot. Go back into BIOS and clear the supervisor password and exit saving changes. Power the system down completely. Restart your system after it's completely powered down. Go into BIOS and you should be able to clear the HDD password. Okay, this is what we need to do right here. Okay. Select all tabs, bookmark tabs. And I kept forgetting. I kept meaning to look this up. And kept forgetting. So yeah, and you know those videos might be pretty helpful. Sometimes those videos like that are pretty good too. But I'm not going to play somebody's video in my in mine because close other tabs. Yesterday or the day before, whenever it was, I was looking around on my own website and I played some of my music and stuff, and then I ran across an audio file. Just a funny audio file that I got years ago, email forwards, and I figured, you know, nobody knows where it came from. Surely it's not, you know, never thought about it being copyrighted or anything. Well, my stupid video came up with a copyright notice on it. It says, well, you can use it, but it's copyrighted. But you may have ads on your video, and that aggravates the crap out of me because YouTube kicked me out of the partner program to get paid for having advertisements on your video because I wasn't popular. Because I didn't have 1,000 subscribers and so many views a day and all that stuff. I was in it for several years, 2 or 3 years, and never got a dime out of them. So it wouldn't cost them anything to leave all of us little puny channels in there, but they kicked us all out. So I don't want none of their ads on my. So I turned off ads. So I don't want their ads on my videos. And the main thing, the biggest thing is I don't usually don't mention it. Don't talk about all that a lot, but I make all my videos Creative Commons license. And my live videos, my regular videos, they just upload as Creative Commons. But my live ones, I have to go back and change them to Creative Commons because they just default to the standard license. So I do it every once in a while. So I can't change that one unless I'm going to have to go in there and see. They got this thing where they can try and take this. This is take the song out. So it's not a song, but I'm going to try and do that. And I'll probably make a video on it. But I wanted to get my actual work done first. But anyway. All right. Am I going to be able to see these instructions while I'm on that machine? See, I need this keyboard to control it, so that means I got to switch over there on my KVM switch. I guess I could do it. No, I can't. I need this monitor too. Enter your BIOS. I might could email it to my Gmail and then look at it on the other laptop, the one I'm monitoring my stream with. That might be what I'm gonna have to do. My eyes are tired. I'm just tired. After eating my supper, I always do get tired, but it is getting late for me because I've been up since about 2 a.m. Let's see. Send it to my Gmail. Because I do not believe, especially now that I'm feeling extra tired, getting really, whoops, let's see. I did something by accident. Sometimes I hit the wrong keys when I'm trying to, I'm doing all that on the keyboard. Well, if you hit Control, after you highlight a link, then hit Control L and it'll turn it into a link. I hits the wrong thing somehow and changed on my keyboard in one fell swoop, changed the shortcut key from Control L to Control K. And it took me forever to figure that out. I just figured that out by accident one day. Well, I knew sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. And finally I paid attention the time that it worked, and I was like, oh, I hit Control K by accident. I'm doing it without looking. And then I knew I had changed it and rested up for a long time. I couldn't use the keyboard to do that. And so anyway. If you got fumbly fingers, no telling what you can do with keyboard shortcuts that are built in. The Fedora 29 BIOS installer. Okay, let's see. Well, I'll check into that later. I might have to look that up while I'm in the installer to get the exact right word. Okay, so that should be on my laptop now. Trying to think of how I need to do this. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do, like I did last time. See, I have this one pointed where I can see just the monitor, and that was for, when I have to do it when I don't have a remote desktop running and everything. Okay, so I'm gonna get on the wireless, not wireless anymore, but lapel mics. They're wired to the, I call them wireless because I had them, hooked to a phone and I was wireless. But now I'm hooked to the computer, but I can still move it around up to about 15 feet away or so. It's enough for me to get around the room here. But here's what I'm going to do, and I've forgotten again that I'm throwing this camera all over the world. Okay, so put that in a different way. There we go. That way I don't knock it down. Now, I wasn't even thinking about trying to show. I'm just gonna, on the other laptop, I'm gonna open up I guess I'll leave it like that for now. I'm gonna open up another window, another tab, I mean. And I want to go to Gmail one way or the other. See if it's been there. Yeah, Gmail. There we go. Well, let's open it up. Let's make sure my lapel mic is working right and everything. I see the signal, but make sure there's. Okay. There we go. Acer Extensa. Okay, now I got to click on the link. Probably best just to go to that page. It's good. Sometimes I copy and paste it into the email, but this page will probably. Gmail uses a lot of resources. Yeah, actually, I don't know why, but I guess I have it set that way. But the text is big enough I can actually read it from over here. All right, now. What I will do then, okay, now I'm going to switch to camera 2 so that, and then I will switch over on the KVM switch, and now I'm going to boot it up, and I've got to catch it and put it into BIOS. I think I'll even take out I'm going to take out the USB stick that I'm gonna be booting to, just so that it will not boot. Make sure it won't boot, and then I can't remember if it's F1 or F2 or what. I'm just doing them both back and forth. Okay, one of them worked. Okay, now general help, setup utility. I think I got into help because of me doing that. Let's see. Yeah, F1 was help, so it must have been F2. Okay, so I'm going to go to the BIOS and create a supervisor password. I thought about trying that. The only thing you can do is create a supervisor password. And I thought about trying it and trying to change things, but I thought, well, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to change. So there we go. Now, and it won't let you go anywhere. Well, I mean, it lets you go. Oh, okay. It's not like that anymore. It doesn't have the locked HDD password anymore. So I don't have to do it. I guess one of my last reformats fixed it. Maybe that redoing it without using the first 20 megabytes caused that. And now I can set supervisor password, or I can set HDD password. So it really was frozen. After a while I thought, no, I think maybe it didn't mean that the password, well, actually it did mean the password is frozen. Okay. That could have been what's been wrong with this drive all this time, I'm wondering. Well, but it did have trouble. It was, I could reformat it and just use it as a data drive, but it would get I/O errors. But when I tried to install an operating system, it would not ever finish. It would always error out. We'll see if this makes a difference. Okay. Well, I don't have to go through the whole steps then. It's evidently it's fixed. And the only thing I've done is I reformatted it to Ext4. Well, I didn't look. The last time I reformatted to Ext4, I didn't look, though. I didn't remember to look. Okay, so now I'm going to put the USB stick in it. Over there and exit, discarding changes. I don't need to change anything. Put the USB stick in it, and I think I will go back on my machine first and get back on the SM58 now, because it sounds way better. There's actually some noise in this lapel. SM58 is in the way, well, the mic stand is in the way. Okay. Now, I'll switch. Okay, back on the SM58. I had to be on the other one as much as I was moving my head around. Okay, so this is still the view I want, because I'm going to be booting up, discard, yeah, exit discarding changes. Okay. Watch. Now I guess, okay, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. Maybe I should have saved those changes just in case, but I figured, you know, it was already that way. I didn't do it, so we'll find out, I guess. Well, now I want to go in there and find out. I don't know. Let's go back in there and see if it's still like that. I'm worried about it now. Trying to hit Control-Alt-Delete in time before it started booting up. Let's see, F2. There we go. Let's see if it's still like the way we want it. Uh-oh. It's back to being froze again. Shoot. I don't think it has something to do with the USB stick, do you? Couldn't. Could it? Oh. It when you just keep hitting enter, it saves a blank password. I should have saved exit saving changes, exit discarding changes. I don't want it to. Okay, now it booted to the USB. Boy, I don't understand that. Okay, I'm turning it back on and going back into BIOS and see if having the USB stick out is making this difference. My throat is getting dry. Get me a cough drop. It's when the USB stick is in there, it's doing that. OLB. Now neither one of them has a password. So only thing I can figure is, I mean, it's seeing the USB as a password, and maybe it does have some sort of password from the factory that locks up that one partition that I can never change. The one with the Windows stuff. But what I'm going to do is exit saving changes. I don't have the USB stick in there, but I'll put it in there in a minute. Let's go into the, I don't know if I made it in time or not. No, I didn't. There's something, all of a sudden I got an itch so bad on my shin that I couldn't do anything else but jumping down there and scratch it. Didn't get in there in time. It almost makes me think there's something wonky in the BIOS. Okay, now it did it again. There is something wonky in the BIOS. I guess I better follow those instructions. I'm going to hard shut it down and go back in there again and see what happens. that was another suggestion that Adrian made was, well, it's kind of a different thing, but whoops, I didn't get in there. But, you know, maybe upgrading, checking to see if there was an upgrade on the BIOS. But that was, well, I don't want to go into it right now. I can't concentrate. Nope. Okay, so I guess I'm going to open my little windows back up. Now my stream is getting bad. History. I'm removing all the darn advertisements on the, it's distracting me. Luckily, it's in my history, so I can get back. Yeah, on my new tab page. It had never been removed. I wasn't interested in it, but I was like, what is that? You know. Okay, enter your BIOS. Okay, supervisor password. Passwords do not match. How do you do it? How do you make it go to the next one? Oh, that was very weird. Okay, don't forget your password. Okay, save changes and exit. Go back into BIOS. Enter current password. I see. Okay. Now. Okay, now we're going to clear the password. How do you clear the password? Enter current password, confirm password. Enter. I think clearing the password, you just hit enter. That's the only thing I can figure out. That's kind of the old way of doing that. So yeah, it says HDD password is froze. Now then you should be able to clear. Okay. Power their system down completely. Exit save and changes. Power their system down completely. So I guess I'll wait until it gets to the place where it can't boot, and then I'll hard shut it down. Okay. Okay, now I should be able to start it up, go into BIOS, and clear the hard drive password. I actually don't think I ever remembered to mention that when I was talking to Adrian. I don't think I ever remembered to mention this to him. Okay, set HDD password. Okay, I didn't think about doing that a while ago when I could get in there. just keep hitting enter. That's the only way I know that there isn't anything that says clear. Okay, now it says all passwords are clear. Supervisor, user, and HDD clear, clear, clear. Okay, now I guess it doesn't say that, but the last sentence, the last thing on the instructions is go to BIOS and you should be able to clear the password. So it's clear. So I'm going to say exit, save, and changes, and I guess I'll go back in there one more time. I'll just let it completely boot up into the screen. Actually, I think I'll power it down from there and then turn it powered up again. Okay. Because that might make you not able to install your operating system properly, That's what they were saying. They were trying to use the rescue mode and they couldn't. And I think I missed it. Yep. That's alright. Hit Control, Delete, and reboot. I hope I'm still on let me making sure I haven't been talking. Yeah, I'm on camera mode, so. Alright. Security, it didn't work. HDD password is froze. The only other thing I would know to do is go ahead and put in a password of my own. And but the crazy thing is, I bet if I power it down and go back in there again, it'll be open, allowing me to edit it again. Let's find out. Straight from BIOS because I wasn't thinking about that. I'll go right back in there. There could be a bug in the BIOS of this thing. I've never really run across a bug, per se. Of course, it could have a malware that's somehow gotten into the BIOS. And now I can set the HDD password. I don't want a password that's going to mess things up. I don't think an installer is going to give me a chance to, type in a password. Now they're all cleared. Power on password enabled. It says enabled, but not. Let me read the instructions there. Lock all hard disk and the length of password must be less than 8 words. Installer change the password length of the password must be less than 8 words. When they say words, they mean characters, I believe. That's how they used to, if I remember right, yeah. They didn't used to say characters in the olden days. They used to say words. But they really meant letters. I think I've watched well, you know, quite a few retro computing videos, like the real working on mainframes and stuff, and it's fun, and some of it's complicated and hard to understand what they're talking about. So that way, with you get too deep into anything. Okay, so I'll load default settings. I'm going to do that because what's the advice on that forum page? I don't have anything set in here special. Well, don't do that yet. Maybe this time it worked. Save changes. I'm going to do that first. Now, I'll just do exit saving changes. See what it does. If this thing's got some sort of hardware issues, then it won't be of any use anyway. Something that's making that happen, you know. Now it's clear. Okay. I'm going to hit save changes again and exit saving changes. I think I'll put my USB stick in there. And hopefully it stayed. Well, let's look at one. No, it won't matter, because every time you go in and out of there, it seems to be changing what it's doing. So if it ain't broke, don't fix. If it ain't broke again, don't fix it again and again. Okay, so Fedora 29 install. I'm going to hit tab and I'm going to hit space inst.vnc. Hit enter. Now when it boots up, I'll have VNC server running and I can do the install on the remote desktop, or try to do it. Okay, so now I'll close my little instruction window again. And I was closing that window and all that stuff. Get back to where I can monitor my stream. It is back to being green again. Okay, and the sound is working. Just about there. That green line, I don't guess it looks green on the video, but it's green. Got some text in it. Yep, there we go. 0.182, port 1. This could have been, that could have been why I never could finish an install. So now I've done two things to fix it, so I won't know which one actually did it. But I mean, if the hard drive really was frozen to where you couldn't, like, you know. Well, the thing, well, like I said, I know I could reformat the drive area of it, but maybe the MBR was frozen and it couldn't finish writing the rest of it. Maybe Grub2 does still write some files in the MBR if the system has an MBR, and this one would because it's an older one. Okay. We're on the desktop, right? Yeah. We're going to open up the remote desktop, applicate reviewer, and we're going to connect. There we go. Okay, now go ahead and go to full screen. English. I need to learn how to use, I can't remember what it was. There's an app that I tried to use, but it was really complicated that would automate doing all this stuff. Denver. I was wondering, yeah, Denver time zone is going to not be my time zone. I can see by that little map now. I change it to Chicago, and that puts the time zone over, puts me within the green map. Okay. Now, go ahead and do the network. Well, I'm thinking, if I don't go ahead and do that right away, I forget. Bishop Co. via SHOP. So Acer apply. And I really do like going ahead and getting the wireless set up. Whoops. What happened? Thought I messed up. I'm trying to go. There we go. And now it's 26 megabits this time. And it does default to that during the installer, so I'm going to turn it off. And I found out from doing this a couple times now. Well, since last night when I got it to run off the USB stick, the Fedora server will default to the wired, and then if you unplug the wired, it will automatically go to the wireless. And so that's pretty cool. Of course, if you unplugged it or if something just went wrong or whatever, that would be cool to have that. Now, the destinations, what I'm going to do next, I'm going to do the, it's already selected the hard drive, but I'm going to do the custom to make sure I know where it's going, because if I just do automatic, it won't tell me anything about what's going on. I'm not going to say I want to make additional space available, because I want it to install on the now that'll take me into the custom, then it takes me into the custom menu. Okay, so here's my drives, my partitions I made, Ext4, and then the LVM 2. So I can click up here at the create the mount points automatically, and I think it will put them, oops, not enough free space. Okay. Then I'll have to do it manually, I guess. I think that's how you do it. /boot 1024 Ext4. And this one should just be, oh, it's not letting me do it. I guess this one, the LVM is in the way. It's not able to do it that way. The other one worked. Well, let's hit done and see. Yeah. Okay, what's the problem? You have not defined a root partition which is required for installation of Fedora. You have not specified a swap. Okay. Well, now it's letting me work. No, it's not. But you can add and delete these partitions. So the one that's most important does seem to have worked the way I wanted it to. The boot with it moved forward, 20, it's already there, and it's forward 20, leaving 20 megabytes of empty space at the beginning. So I'm going to delete that one. Delete all the data on SDA2. Now, see if I can do that. No. I'm going to try it because maybe it'll let me. Actually, I don't know. I may have to do it manually. I would like to just go back and let it, you know, do it for me. I don't think it'll, I don't know if it'll go back and let it do it for me. I'm afraid it won't, and I'll get to where I can't do it. Let's see. Yeah, I can do it. I think I have enough information in my head here. Okay. I've looked at it enough times. Yeah. Desired capacity. I don't know how much space is on this drive. Is the thing. Let's see. Well, it's not going to be too hard to figure out if I get my. Let's see, it's 200. What was it? 200. Oh, here we go. Available space 231. Okay. Total space 232. There we go. 231 divided by. I don't really know. Well, it's big. It's 250 gigabyte drive, so 231. Actually, I want 2 gig. What do I want? 2 gigabytes for swap. Okay. 231. I'm just going to say 231 even minus 2. 229. And then divided by 229 divided by 2. Okay, 114 gigabytes. 114 and a half gigabytes. So I'm just going to say 115 gigabytes for the root partition. And then I don't know if we're going to end up inside of an LVM. Yeah, that's an LVM. This one, other one up here is not an LVM. That's an Ext4, right? Okay. Yeah, Ext4. This one is going to be LVM, and it's doing XFS. Huh. I wonder, maybe Fedora 29 wants to use XFS. I mean, I could change it to Ext4. If it's defaulting, well, just because it's defaulting to it doesn't, since this is the, you know, custom, doesn't necessarily mean, which you would think if it was just going to start at the top, it would, you know, it wouldn't start at the bottom, it'd start at the top or something. Usually they default to what they think is best. I don't guess there's any problem with that. There could be. I mean, I don't know anything about XFS. I'm going to go ahead. This is a hard drive. I know Ext4 works. Okay. Name. I'm not going to put a label on this one because there's already something that I think is a label. All right. Now. Whoops. Now where's the rest? Oh, I still have to add it. Now the way... how do you do swap mount point? I think you just put swap in there. 2 gigabytes. And you have to go to GB. I think maybe that's right. 2 gigabyte swap. We'll see. Now we're going to add home. I've done this. Well, I don't know. You know, this wouldn't be saved in there. I think that may be some. Yeah, this is their default mount points that they have in there for you. Oh, to help you out. Okay. 115 gigabytes. Uh-oh. Those are megabytes, not gigabytes. I didn't put gigabyte in there. Whoops. Whoops. Oh, this is the root. Okay, I was going to change the root first. Yes, GB. Okay, there we go. And how do you make it do it? Modify. There we go. Yeah. Okay. 107 gigabyte. Now this one, you need to change it to gigabyte. You have to actually type GB. I saw that in the examples the first time I went in this screen. And this is the way of doing it. So now we've got home 107.1 gigabytes. Boot is 1024 megabytes. That's 1 gigabyte. And root is 107 gigabytes. Swap is 186 gigabytes. I really wanted 2 gigabytes. That's what it always is actually 2 gigabytes. See if I can do that. Whoops. There, it worked. I don't know how it quite how it did that without taking away from the others, but maybe it's just letting me do it. Well, no, I've seen it before. You pick what you'd like to have, and then it does the math for you. So, since this is a server, normally I would, give the most space to the home directory. Since it's a server, I'm actually on my website, and if I ever did grow it, if I actually get to use this, ever did grow it to like dynamic websites, I would need more space on the home root directory because they're inside of the root partition, not root directory, root partition. Not, the websites are in there, not on the home directory, home partition. Okay, so that's it. Wait, is there more space? Let me get my calculator out again. Oh yeah, space available, 15.7 gigabyte. So that's why I was able to do that, because I didn't have my original math right. Somehow I got it mixed up. Oh yeah, 107. I wonder why. And I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to try to make this bigger. I'm going to say target 115 again. Maybe if you go too high, it drops back more. I don't know. We'll see. No, it made it. Now there's 7.78 gigabyte available space. I don't think you need any more swap. I mean, I could give it another gigabyte of swap. It wouldn't really matter. It's kind of, I must really be adding up in my head poorly. I'm going to give it 3 gigabyte of swap space just to see if it let's see. Kept saying I would try that again. 115 gigabyte. Okay, it got 113. Now there's 20.18 megabytes left. I'm going to leave it like that. Yeah, because that could be what's at the front. And I don't want to take, for sure, I don't want to try to take that up. Yeah. Because I did leave 20.18 free space at the front. For all I know, this could, I hope it's not reformatting it. I think it's just using the available space. I don't know. This could be reformatting it. This may not be going to do what I tried to do. It's hard to tell with a deal like this. I'm hoping that, it's not using up any of that space before my boot partition. That 20 megabytes, but I'm going to leave it just like that. Yeah, that's good. And I think let's see if it works. Yeah, it didn't give me a squawk at me having bad mount points or anything. Destroy physical volume, LVM, SDA, destroy physical volume, I can't speak, SDA2, those are both SDA2, and then create SDA2, create physical volume, and then create LVMVG, all these different, one of them is XFS. Which one is XFS? Maybe I forgot to change the, yep, I forgot to change the file system on the home partition to Ext4. There we go. Update settings. This is Ext4. Root is Ext4. Swap is swap. Okay. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay. SDA2, Ext4, Ext4. There's extra stuff, but that's, I never have quite figured out. LVM-LV, that's part of the LVMs. Like LVM-LV and Ext4 there, those are the same thing, but it's, you know, I guess the Ext4 is inside of the LVM-LV is the way you would look at it. And there's the root partition. I just don't see the one that's the boot partition. None of them say boot, but I think it's the first one under the two red ones there. Yeah, that's going to be it. It doesn't say that it's Ext4 or anything, but it says SDA2. I don't know why it says SDA2. But anyway, that's what I think I want. Okay, that says it'll work. Everything else is set up but the software. The mirrors are found now. So I'm going to use the Fedora Server Edition, the default, and that way I can get what I want out of it. And I have to select the servers and stuff that I want. Checking my sound. Let's see. I want the FTP server. Last time I did try putting a load balancer in there. I'm going to do that again. I might be able to get some good use out of that. I may have to go in and learn how to set it up, but if it'll do has a default setting, then it may do just enough for me. I want it to balance the network. Well, yeah, balance the network traffic. I don't want too much bandwidth being used. You know, using up my upload bandwidth is but I'm not sure if what it'll do on that. I haven't ever figured out how to, you know, go into the configuration and find out what's going on. I don't see it in Cockpit. Don't want a mail server or anything like that. Make it to be able to print or act as a print server. I don't think that's necessary on this. Since this has got a bigger drive, you could use some of these other things, you know, files. But I'm not going to put any extra stuff in there. I just want the basic stuff and see if it runs at all. If I want any more of these are group installs, and if I want them, I can always go find those groups with the group install commands and install them. That's actually pretty easy. I found a good article showing exactly how to do all that. I've been following it for a couple, 2 or 3 years now. I do want the text editors that'll work in the command line. Headless management, that's what gets you Cockpit, the remote admin tool that I was using yesterday. still keep wondering. I don't see why though I would need an RPM build. You know, I'm not going to really install anything on the server that doesn't come out of the Fedora repos, and it's already got its RPMs. Yeah. System tools. I think most of those are graphic applications. Now, text-based internet, and I missed somewhere the basic web server, I think. Let me go back to the top and just go back down again. They're not actually in, well, maybe they're in alphabetical order, but where's basic web server? There it is. See, they're not in all in, they're not in alphabetical order, really. Maybe not at, I guess not at all. I don't know what order they're in. Okay. Yeah, one good thing about just doing the basic stuff is it doesn't take as long to install. And since I have to go back and install if I wanted to make desktop, I'd have to go back and install it with the group install commands. May as well just wait and don't do any of that stuff unless I decide to do that. Okay, so I've got everything set now, and I'm going to begin the installation. And while I'm doing that, waiting on that, I need to set up my passwords and my regular user. Started to hit enter, but I don't know that that'll work. Okay, that is set. Now, create my user. I think it's getting a little behind sometimes on the. There we go. Yeah, just give it a little time, and that did take. Just took a while to show it to me. Okay, I think I got that too. Okay, so root password set, created my user. User will be created when it does its first boot. Regular user. So it's made pretty good headway on. Yeah, when you're installing from a regular, you know, you have the full system on your USB stick, it pretty well finishes by the time I get done setting up my passwords and my username. But these are being downloaded and installed at the same time, so it takes a little bit longer. But since I'm not doing a lot, you know, and there's no graphic user desktop or any of that other stuff, then it's pretty fast. I just hope it actually works this time. That'd be really awesome if the hard drive would work. That's what I wanted all along. It's just that I didn't want to. Well, I started to buy one. I started to buy some sort of hard drive. I thought about buying a small one, you know, cheapest one as I could find for this, and set up a server on it. And I got to looking at them. This was before Christmas, you know, in the sale time of the year there. And I ended up buying that 8 terabyte, for backup drive for USB drive for $129. I just didn't see spending $40-50 for 120 gigabyte or drive or something like that, or just how much per gigabyte. I was looking, didn't even sit down and get the calculator. I could just kind of see in my head that it was not worth it to buy those other ones. With these bigger ones were on sale anyway. So not sure why the last several times I've used this, my network didn't get behind. My remote desktop didn't get behind. I did reboot. Yeah, I rebooted the router and the modem before after the last session, before I ate, and the machines and everything. I shut down all the laptops and I shut down the phones, and then I turned them back on when I got done eating. Make sure everything was fresh this time. It seems like every time I get to this point, I really start needing a break. So I guess I should take my break, but I'll leave it going because it'd be silly to break up this video right when it's almost done. And I guess since this is actually doing something, I'd rather leave it like this than play the music and stuff with the little text. Although that does give someone that happened along an idea of what's going on, but this time I think I'll leave it. So, I'll be back in a minute. Well, I'm back and I see bad news. I can get my glasses on to get set up. Can't read the error. No, I can read the big part. Unknown error has occurred. This program has encountered an unknown error. You may report the bug or quit the program. More info. Okay. Payload, pay Anaconda. Well, it doesn't actually look like what I was expecting. I thought it'd be something about, it can't access, can't write to the hard drive or something, but pay Anaconda installation task PY. Well, installation task, self-task arg, self-task cargs. Let me get debug may take you to TTY1. Make sure my sound was working and everything since I've been gone. I didn't get back as quick as I thought I would. It's just over and over and over. DNF installation has ended abruptly. You can't see the whole, nothing you can do to get to read the whole message. But you see the little drop, see how much more there is? It must have kept on trying. Although it doesn't look like it's repeating itself either, though. Package, firmware, no arch does not verify. I'm not seeing anything that sounds to me like it couldn't write to the drive, and that's what I was expecting to go wrong. I wasn't expecting anything else to go wrong. I've installed it several times, like last few days, 3, 4 times, 5 times now. This will be like the 5th time, I think, somewhere in there. It does say transaction error. Oh, input out. That's the part I can't. Part that might tell me is what I can't read. Freed failed input. Grub. I was trying to install Grub, it looks like. Storage. Auto part false, yeah. Unless it let me set it up because it looked okay, but I set it up wrong, But, yeah. Truth and true beach, what? Mount points. That's the different types of mount points. 2 gigabyte max size, 15 gigabyte grow true. Okay, sorry. You know, there's so much in there. That's an awful lot to look through. Sandisk cruiser pattern, that's my boot media, which I think it's alright, it has been. You could do a search in there. No, can't search through it. I need to be able to get that text into something like a text program. Oh, you can page over finally. Well, I didn't think, maybe I could all along and I didn't realize it. But if you try to page over, it disappears out of the window instantly before you can just move the hair. That's weird. Kernel perf. IO era. Wait. That's why sometimes you get to the end and you see the final, you know, error results. So I went down there. Kernel print. Rec error. IO era. Dev SDA sector. So and so. That's the hard drive. Failed result. Oh, there we go. I can use the error keys. Kernel ATA, SD, ATA. So I think it's hard drive. I was thinking, well, maybe I should try it again, and, you know, and try to make sure the partitioning is right. But really, I don't think I did anything wrong, other than just changing the partition type to Ext4. I don't know why. Maybe the thing is they decided to change it with Fedora 29, and I didn't realize it. Didn't really ever look like my server that I have set up and running. Evidently, it's, you know, XFS. And they don't, I just now remembered that I laid out the partitions the way my Fedora 28 system is. Ext4 swap Ext4. But actually, the server one, if you let it do it on its own, it does XFS and swap. And then it has home and the home directory just inside the root partition. That's what it did yesterday when I let it. Finally realized I can use my arrow keys. Trying to drag it with the mouse, I couldn't do it without it just jumping. Ext4 file system mounted. Password considered seen in Kickstart false. Oh yeah, it's not. Root password's not in the Kickstart, I don't guess. Well, I don't know if when you do that, you know, you add it, like you add the password, does it put it? I don't think it puts it in the Kickstart file. The Kickstart file is what tells it all the automated stuff in the installer tells it to do. So yeah, I don't think so. I've tried to build my own distros and make my own Kickstart file. Well, I did it in Fedora 11. There was a GUI app that helped you do it and helped you edit the Kickstart files, and I actually have a Fedora 11 remix of my. I made a copy of the system I had at the time, and it ended up, back then it was really big. It was 3 gigabytes, and I never did have anything to put it on. And then by the time I did get to work, I could put it on anything to install it or anything on, you know, a medium big enough. Then it was too old to use anymore. I booted it up a couple of times in VirtualBox just to look at it, and it looks old. The interface looks old and everything. It's real Genome 2, though. Alright, so I'm going to click on debug just to see what it's going to do, but it says it might take you to TTY1. Okay, let's see what it does. That might mean that I could go remote shell into it. Well, I don't know what good it would do me, but we'll see what happens. Usually when you do run a debug, it does it for you, you know, in Fedora. Well, it closed it. So yeah, I guess it. Of course, that screen I can't see. Well, I can if I go to that machine. Yeah, it took me out of my remote server and it put me in TTL1. Evidently, pain is dead. Status. Which one? Yeah, thread debugging using so and so. Pain is dead. During debugger, that's up higher. I'm looking up higher now. And kind of received signal 11. Then I got a whole bunch of stuff that's hard to read. / so and so, so and so, so and so, so and so. Oh, you can't type in there either. Okay, so I think that hard drive is hopeless. That's what I had already decided. So I guess if I want to use this, I would either have to buy a hard drive, which would make the most sense, or put the SD card in the adapter and install that way. I don't really want it that way because it's sticking, even though it's only sticking out about, well, it's sticking out. It's actually sticking out more than I was saying the other day. Where am I at? Let's see. I'm on the remote desktop. So I should have switched the camera, but I forgot. This camera. Okay. Yeah, this is what I want. So that thing is. Let me switch to the. Hello, check. Okay, check. The mic quit. Oh, it didn't quit working. I'm not wearing the lapels. I'm getting tired. I'm not with it. Okay, so I will just try to reach over there. Yeah, it's about 3/4 of an inch. That would be sticking out all the time, and you know. You're gonna be bumping into it. You might have to move it. Being a laptop, you know, it's not like a desktop that just hardly ever gets moved. Don't really, and like I was saying, I was looking all around. Where am I going to set the thing? And where I had it set last night, over there to the right of the monitor, you know, on top of all that stuff. That stuff I get into, and that's actually only normally that's actually stacked on top of a computer that's over there, like the Net Pro Max was over there. And I plan on either, you know, I don't want to, if I'm going to run my server on one of those machines, I don't, they're too loud, I want them in the garage, but then whatever one goes in the garage, the other one comes back in here, and you know, for me to fiddle with when I want to. So, I guess I'll shut it down. No point in doesn't get very hot. There's certain things, some things I like about that machine. That's why I kind of little by little have bought stuff for it, but power supply and I think, well, I think what I did is bought, I'm still not sure, I may have bought memory and put it in there, or I may have bought memory and put it in the, probably bought memory, put it in the Dell 1525, and then took the smaller memory out of the Dell 1525 and put in here. Well, I have 2 GB though. However, I ended up doing it. I have 3 in the Dell 1525 and 2 gig in this one. So, let's see. just my frozen BIOS instructions, and it actually turned out to be quite helpful. Okay, I was thinking of how I was going to do all this, and I can't even think of how to do it. But yeah, switch that camera like that. That's not any better, so that I could move the other one. But in order to get up and move something and still talk, of course right now I'm coughing so much I can't talk. Drainage hit me like crazy. And I guess somebody got cold and turned the heater up, because now it's 78.8 degrees. It was 79 a second ago when I was coughing my head off. The heater was running. I think that's what made me go coughing like that. Too much heat. You don't need it that hot. Okay. Let me switch. I think I've got... now, yeah, I was trying to talk on it a minute ago, and I didn't put them on. I normally always wear them, but when I came back, I saw that it had finished and errored out. I wanted to hurry up. No telling how long that already sat there waiting for me to come back. Whoa, nearly fell. So, yeah, this is what a rig I have to keep it from yanking it off my shirt and breaking the... Mostly I'm worried about breaking the wires, you know, where they connect to the mic. So I was wanting to put this back, and it's a normal place where I pointed at me to talk and whatnot. See if I can. Need to be so high that but I don't. I'm getting really tired now, so I don't want to. How did that happen? I thought I was on camera too. Did it switch while I was sitting down? I must have. I could have hit something to cause it to happen, like error key. Or did I have it on that camera and was the video just going there? It was. I remember now. I remember seeing when I was standing up, I saw my face. I had it on that camera. I intended to have it on camera too, so that it wouldn't be just a bunch of, you know, really bad video moving around. I guess I'm too tired to know what I'm doing, I guess. Well, I've already had my supper. But I did that, and then I came back and did this last thing. And it happened just like it has every time I've tried to put an operating system on it. So I didn't even bother to look. Well, I'd have to boot it up into, of course it failed, and so I know it won't boot. You can do it just for the heck of it, I guess. But oops. Already zoomed out. Of course I can zoom back in. So I guess I will. Nothing's stopping me from doing that. There we go. And then I'll do that. You can see. Okay, now I'll Now I got to switch over to it so that I'll be able to control it with the keyboard. Actually, since at least if I'm on the SM58, I just did that so that I was getting up and down. Okay, now I can move away from the SM58 when I have to cough and all that stuff. It helps quite a bit. Okay, so it's going to boot up just on the hard drive. Of course, it won't boot. Didn't even finish the installation. There we go. I was going to say, is it even going to do that? Yeah, just the grub rescue mode. I'll turn it off and put my live Fedora on in there. I couldn't get it in there. I was trying to do it upside down. So I'm going to let it boot up into the live Fedora. I'll have to go ahead and tell it. I don't want to test it again. For a minute there, I thought it wasn't going to boot up. For Fedora makes the best rescue. I've always wanted to make my own rescue system on Fedora because most everybody uses Devane or some other thing, and they can't, auto mount the LVMs and the or even the Ext4 partitions. Okay. Yes, I'll have to change the display again. It's a live system, so you have to do that every time. Keep this configuration closed. Okay, so what I was thinking was I would first I think I'll open up the well, let's just go ahead and look in the see, it has the Blivit GUI and GParted. The Blivit GUI will probably give better details on the LVM than GParted because it's more like genome disks, and it does. But I still think GParted is best for doing the partitioning work. Okay, so 19 megabyte of free space, just like I wanted. So that didn't get changed. It's 20. Well, I tried to set 20, but it's got 19, but that's fine. That's probably just it went to the nearest sector, and that's normal. And SD1 is the Ext4. It doesn't. Let's see if there's any status exiting. Doesn't show any errors on it. And then the LVM. Unless I actually set that up wrong somehow. But well, there's two more. Let's see. Storage device, raw format. Oh, that's what I'm booted to. Fedora May, Fedora Bishop Acer. Okay, now here we go. Now we can see each one individually. It's got ... but it doesn't do any good to move it over. So Ext4 113 and then Ext4 115. Yeah, I'm not on remote desktop, so I have to call it out. Swap 3 GB. So that's all exactly as I planned it. And I don't see in here like a place to mount it or anything. But they all look okay. I mean, they don't show to be, you know, broken or anything. Oh, now that was the logical view. Now here's the physical view. And so there's the, like it's right now I'm selected onto the, well, it says SDA2 231 gigabyte, and then there's like, actually I don't understand it, this part right here. Then there's like this place that you can't select. It's all black lines in it. And then the SDA, you know, the boot partition at the front, you can't select it either. So I guess this logical physical view is just of the, you said 231.87 gigabyte SDA2 is what it is, and that's the LVM2 with all the 3 LVM partition, you know, inside of it, or however you're supposed to say them. It says, well, LV, that's what they're labeled type. So, and you could, well, I don't know if you can do it. Yeah, you probably can do it with these. No, maybe not. Yeah, resize format. You could resize and all that. Resize with this app, okay, the LVMs, and that's cool. Yeah, and if you needed to do that, then you could resize them, and it. I just noticed something, and you're not supposed to lose data in the LVMs when you resize. But home's at the beginning, then root, and then and I don't know. I'm just going by what I saw in my Fedora 28 system. It always put root first, then swap, and then home. And maybe that's not the actual order of how they are on the, you know, in there. It could just be listed that way by alphabetical order or something, for all I know. They could be going by the size order, because 113, 115, and 3 gigabyte, and 3 is bigger than 1, so it would be on the end. You know, that's how numbers do. Bishop Co. Acer home root would be, well, it would be after H, and then swap, you know, QRST. So swap would be after. I think they're in alphabetical order. Maybe the order they showed up actually meant nothing, and I didn't realize that. The order they showed up in there. But it doesn't show to be messed up. Yet it doesn't. It's failed and it doesn't boot. So and this is what happens every time I try to. They're not mounted. When you click on them, you can't do unmount. Go into the file manager and see if they'll mount. Okay. They show to be 122 and 123 gigabyte volumes. Mounted. And it has the file system on it. I'm going to go in the home directory Boot folder. Of course, that's not the boot drive, so you don't normally I didn't see any files, but you don't normally see files. Looks like there's no files in the folder. Well, there's one in there. Anaconda TV. See what that is. Unknown file type. Select an application. Should be a guess I'll try LibreOffice. Really just wanted text. There it is, text editor. Let's try LibreOffice. It's more likely to handle whatever it is if it's something different besides just a plain text file. Yeah, I was starting to think, how can I do that? Because it's broken. It's broken, but no, I'm not running off of that. I'm running off a live system. LibreOffice is always kind of slow to open up. That's one reason why I'd prefer to use a text viewer, but I wasn't quite sure what kind of file this was, so I thought, no. Well, let's try it one more time, but try it with the text viewer. Pluma is on there. Still can't open it, so I don't know what kind of file that is. It's not. I was thinking maybe it would be some sort of file that would tell me something. There we go. Root, run. Let's go into var and see if there's any. Yeah, it didn't finish. It didn't finish writing, and it didn't finish. Now there's some files in there. But it should be var, www, and all that stuff in there for the website. So it errored out while it was still working. Now let's see what's in the, couldn't mount that one. I thought that was the home partition. It is. That's the thing, though. I keep forgetting that the way I did that the way Fedora 28 did it, and for all I know, that's what broke it, because I was thinking the hard drive broke it, but it could be me because I keep forgetting that the server edition doesn't put puts the you let it do it itself. It puts the root and swap inside the LVM, and then the home folder is just a folder inside the root partition. Not to be confused with the root folder. It's the root / by itself. That's the root directory of the whole file system. So that's, and when you say the mount point, it's just /. And I forgot that the other day, and I messed it up. I finally figured out what I did wrong. So that's the root partition. So, and that is the way that, well, actually, I think Fedora used to do it that way, and Debian kept doing it that way for a long time. I don't know, it still could be that way. Just the normal way it does it. You just have a boot partition and a root partition, and then everything else, it's all in there. Except for the swap was its own partition separately, but with this LVM here, LVM2, they're inside of the LVM2, but they're still separated, root and swap. In the server edition, and I selected Ext4 instead of leaving it XFS, and maybe this new server edition in Fedora 29 doesn't work that way. I'm comparing, maybe comparing apples to oranges. Fedora 28 made desktop just may be that much different, and so I just thought, I just kept thinking, well, I don't know if I trust that XFS. It seems like I remember reading about it and didn't think it was all that great, but I don't remember for sure. But the doesn't come up and tell you anything about it. Just 122 gigabyte. Well, that one tells us it's long. Okay. Oh, run media live user. So that was. Well, that can be off my US or off my SD card. It's only 32 gigabytes. It says run media live user. Adrian was asking me what Fedora, how Fedora did it. Well, this is different though. This is live. Well, yeah, we were talking about live. Anyway, it's run media live user, not run media user live. I think it's something like what I said. Maybe I did say live user, but that's what it is. I'm looking at it. Okay, and then volume. This one would be. Oh, that says run media live user. I guess that's where it's mounted. Yeah. Wrong FS type. Bad option, bad super block, on dev mapper. Oh, okay. It is Fedora Bishop Coacer home. Missing code page or helper program. Okay. So yeah, I think maybe I did screw it up. Trying to do it the way Fedora 28 is. Maybe it would have actually worked. Now I want to try it. I just want it to work. Probably should wait till tomorrow though. Okay, so that gives me a little hope though. I'm glad I did that. First I thought, well, why am I even doing this? What's the point? But now I see the point. Booting it up into this. Yeah, run media live user. This one, I do believe this is the root partition. I guess that's where they mount it, run media live user. Okay, run media live user, yeah. Now, so that is not where the home directory is in the live system. In the live system, that one says it can't mount SDA1, wrong file system type, bad super block, dev SDA missing, code page helper. See some weird stuff in the live system. Okay, now live OS. There we go. Okay. Well, it still says run media live user. Disk live OS. Maybe. Well, okay, now here's the live user. But now I can't see where it came from. Okay, home, live user, one word. Yeah, home, this is what we were talking about how to set up X11 desktop to work right. The way the syntax of the command that mounts it, you have to get the home directory right, and it's different in different distros, even different, the main distros. So this one is well, actually the one, I think our instructions were from Ubuntu, and we were on Debian, that he built his rescue tux on. That was the deal. Yeah, well, we were on Debian 8, I think, at that point. Yeah. So yeah, and he asked me about Fedora, and I told him, I thought it was home user live or something like that, but it's home live user, one word. And it's been, I'm pretty sure it's been that way for a long time. I just couldn't remember. In the live version. Okay, desktop, live user desktop, documents, live user documents, or home live user documents. Yeah. Okay, so the home directory is home live user. Yeah, so when I thought I was looking through the hard drive, I was. It's just run media live user where they mounted it. So it's another live user folder in a whole different place. But all we got is var lib, RPM, and DNF. It didn't get through with what it was trying to do. History, SQLite, RPM. Might somewhere, if I remembered where to look, I might, like find the logs or something. Let's see. I could just search for log and everything there. nothing log. See if there's anything that tells about errors in there. Nope. I'm pretty sure that would search inside the folders, not completely. But it can go to the root directory, but it can't go to the home directory, the home partition, I mean. That's the home partition that won't mount, which is usually the opposite. So, if I could, let's see, what did I do? Yeah, I closed that. Let's go to GParted. If I could get it to keep that structure with that, you know, the extra space at the beginning, and follow, and just let it do its what it wants, you know, the right XFS and all that stuff, and just one partition. All what I need is a root partition and swap partition, and then oh, BitParted error as super user, input output error during read on FCA. Retry, ignore, retry. Ignore. It can't scan and open up the drive. Wonder if it's got anything to do with it being mounted. Let's hit cancel. It's kind of hung up. There we go. Okay. Now it says the drive's unallocated. Oh, that's weird. Because I know it's not. Because I just got through looking through the whole thing. There it is. There's the files on it. Huh. Let's go ahead and unmount it. What's that? That's the Live OS. So I'll leave that as it is. Let's try it again. I have not maybe ever even burned this, you know, Fedora 29 made desktop and used it. It could have bugs in it. I started to use 28 because I've been using it, and it worked. Everything I tried to use it worked. I thought, well, let's do 29. It's the newest. But the newest can it also means that there may very well be bugs in it. There's always like at least a 6-month period of pain where there's bugs in every new Fedora release. So then when you're trying to figure things out, you don't know for sure what's okay and what's, you know, what's working and what's not. Okay, so it can see my live system, but it can't see the hard drive for some reason. All right, well, let's, okay, but at least I'm glad that both tools are on there then, because the Blivit could look at it. And it's mountable. It's not broken. I looked all around it, except for the home partition is broken. So I think if I'm wondering now if I did it right, it would work. Every clock I got in here and I can't see. 6:30. Feels much later than that to me. Well, I've been up since 2 this morning. That's why. Okay. I almost feel like I want to know so bad that I won't be able to sleep, you know. But I'll think that whenever I keep on going till I'm just sick, tired. The other day I kept doing that, and then I got up. Anyway, I'm kind of anyway. Saturday, I ended up sleeping 5 hours, up for 4 hours, and then sleeping 12 more hours or something. Yeah, 12 more hours on Saturday, starting, you know, Saturday night. So I got up at, now I've forgotten, I don't know, 8 or 10, oh, midnight. I woke up midnight Saturday night because of me staying up too long and all that. I usually don't do quite this bad. I was so into all this. I guess having someone new, you know, someone to help me got me really into it. And so I was not even sleeping as long as I usually do, and I was getting up, even though I was tired. So, okay, I turned it off, net installer, put it back in there. I want to try it. got to take out the SD card or the USB SD card. Turn it on. Yeah, I think maybe I want to put on my, if I'm going to have something for a live system, I want it to be I think I want Fedora 28. Okay, I'm going to do just like I've been doing. Now we can get back on the desktop. inst.bnc. That is so cool to have that like that. And that's one of the things. See, I'd like to build me up a new. That's one where I kind of hate. Well, I can't use easy to boot. If I did make me a new multi-boot, I'd have to use a different builder, which I used to use different ones. I just don't know how well they work anymore, some of them. I know I can think of two that easy to boot works when your medium is in good shape, but once you keep writing on it, it doesn't want to work anymore. And I don't think it's that bad. I think it's just that easy to boot is really particular about the fragmentation on it. And all drives have some fragmentation, and some files even need to be fragmented. Audio video files actually need some fragmentation. There's a whole thing I learned about that years ago. But and if you run I was running Windows back then, and Windows XP, and if you keep defragging your drive, you'll mess up your audio files will stop working. And there's a guy that wrote a program to fragment your audio files for you to make them work again. And I used it, and it worked. I only had a few that were like that, but something I would have never thought of. I was looking at freeware. I can't think of the name. I always used to know his name and his website and everything. He always made real short, real lightweight real small and lightweight programs, and he didn't make a program that did everything. He would just make a program for this and a program for that. And I loved those programs. I used about 5 of them. This was before I discovered Linux. Oh, it's ready, waiting on me. The last time I looked, it's been a year or 2 or 3 ago, he was still running this site and building software. He did music too. That's why he did so much stuff like that. Okay, so I should be able to log in. Okay, is my video still? Yep. Okay. There we go. Yep. Okay, I'm just going to go through it again. Give it time. There we go. Chicago, there you are. Just go ahead and set it up. Bishop code, HLPCOACDR. I still have to take my time to get things right. I really mess stuff like that up easily. Well, I guess, well, you can't go by that. I was going to say the Wi-Fi might be getting tired because it's 26 megabytes again, but whoops, I just nearly turned off the wrong one. Oh, it went up to, wait, 65? I swear I saw 65. Now it's, I might have saw it on the other one. Oh, now it's not responding. That's what it is. 100, which it, all the, they all say 100. Yeah, it does say 65. Okay, now I've never. Listen, I don't know for a fact that this laptop only handles 54 megabits. Maybe it handles 65 megabits. Guess it's darn sure saying that it's got it. Huh. I'm going to turn it off because I want to make sure that it also showed, what did I say, something really low when I first got on there. I just want it set up for a backup Ethernet, backup networking if I really do use it. Okay, now I'm going to say custom again, and I should be able to just leave the I'm going to hit done. You're not done, but okay, I should be able to leave the boot partition, but change. Well, I could leave the swap too, but I need to get rid of the home. Oh, I hit add instead of minus. Gotta hit minus. Okay, delete that. Actually, that would be the thing to do. What happened? I think it deleted everything. It did, and that is not what I meant to do. It says, but if you rescan it, all the changes made with the installer will be lost because it hasn't been done yet. It's not committed. So rescanning can get you back. I guess that's basically the closest thing you got to a back button in this area here. Unless something went wonky and it just broke the partitions. But disk scan complete. And this is also so that you could remove or add disks, that would say if you're using more than one disk. Okay, so you got to go back. It takes you back to the beginning. Yeah, now I'm back to where I was. Okay. Yeah, I can keep this. I would like to keep the swap. And what I had done was hit minus on the home partition, but it took them all out, and I don't want them all out. Oh, it says unknown Linux data. Huh. This time I'm going to say the root because I want to redo it. Oh, it says there I clicked, yes. And it says delete all file systems which are only used by unknown Linux. Oh, and that's the whole thing, so don't do that. That's what I did wrong. I clicked that box. I thought I needed to. Okay, now I still have everything else. Now I can delete that home. Yeah. If you want them all, then that'll get them all. But I don't want them all gone. I want to keep I'm going to just leave this swap at 3 GB. Probably doesn't need it, but I don't think it would hurt. I think it might help a little bit. In case it's going to be running. If it is a server, it's going to be running forever. So might just give it a little more. It actually might only be of more benefit if I was using it, like to edit video or stream or something. But, okay, so. Oh. Get rid of that swap too, because I'm thinking I should do the LVM now. I did do LVM. Yeah. Okay. Now I can start again. My boot partition is still, 1024 megabyte. It's still there. And I don't think I can do the automatic thing. Well, maybe I can. Boot, Fedora root, 15 GB, swap 2 GB. Oh. Well, that looks good, except for the root is too small. It did do Ext4 this time. Oh, no, that didn't work. Now, what am I going to do about that? It just left that as it was. Okay. Huh. Up there it says system, and down there it says unknown. Now, I don't want to reload because that'll put me back where I started, so I'm going to hit minus. I think it just did it that time. Did it? I guess it did. Okay. Now, I would like to do btrfs, especially on this drive, because it's, you know, when it sees a bad sector, it'll move the data, and it also makes backups of the data. You know what? I'm going to try it. Because it is a hard drive. It'll handle btrfs. Okay, now mount point. Still need to leave room for, not L, /. This will be my root partition. And need to tell it desired capacity, 1024 megabytes. I want, 231, so I want 230, no, I want 229 gigabytes. Update settings. You must create a new file system on the root device. Oh. So I did something wrong there. Okay. Let's just go with LVM again then. I don't really know what it is that what's going on now. Okay. Try one more time and see if there's something. Maybe I need to create it first and then I'll go ahead. 229. I think I kind of get what's going on now. Mount point, yeah. Okay. Oh, here we go. GB. Now there it is. Root. Well, I got 213. Oh yeah, I forgot about all these space for the. Still have 18 gigabyte left though. 1024. Now I want a. Well, it's not going to be an LVM, but actually I think btrfs will be better. Mount point, swap. Desired capacity. I'm still going to go with 3 gigabyte. 3 gigabyte. Yeah, I said I was going to go by what the standard was, didn't I? And I'm not doing it. Except for, well, I'm doing the layout, but I'm using a different file system. But how do I know that won't give me trouble? I have no clue. I do know that, oh, the unknown, see, it's, I guess I'm going to have to delete it. That was already there, wasn't it? Yeah. Isn't there some way I can say that this is part of the system? Yeah. Boot. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that worked. It still shows down there under unknown, but now I did that before though, I think. Had it in the because if I reformat this one, I'm afraid it'll move to the beginning of the partition. This is the one that I've got in the right place. Swap now. Yeah, and the only difference would be is if I would have created an LVM and put, it could be all the difference though. It's not the way they normally do it, but the default way. I've tried the default ways several other times. So with other versions of Fedora and Debian too, I think, on this drive. There's still 15 gigabytes available though. Okay, so that's 279. I'll leave that like that. Well, let me modify it for some reason. Well, let me change it to, you know, fill the drive. I could with the swap, but I don't want to do that. Could with the boot, but I don't want to do that. So that's weird. I wonder if it's the nature of the btrfs causing that. I don't know, do I? Okay, remove that. I think I better go with the LVM because I have no idea. So I want the swap inside the LVM. Now, I don't know if that messes things up or not. I don't know if we have two boot partitions now or what the heck's going on, but I'm going to add a mount point, expired capacity. 229, see 230, 189, yeah, I said 229, I guess that's right. Oops. 229.30. Where's my, how come it, okay, now, where did it go? Yeah, I want it to be LVM. And I'll leave the XFS. Update, and then I want to add the swap. 3 GB. That worked. Okay, okay, root. That says 256 megabyte. I must have done that wrong. Okay, 228. I'll say target 229 megabytes. Then. That's what I did. I mean gigabytes. Maybe I did megabytes. Now it did 213. Like before. But that's XFS, that's swap, that's boot. Wonder why it won't let me go any bigger in here. I'm going to just say 300 because I know it will, whoops, I know it will, now it did it, but now there's 20 megabytes. Well, that would be all right, 20 megabytes at the beginning is what I think that shows. Okay, I don't know why that was happening. It must have been my math I was trying to do in my head. So 229 for the root, which, and I think it's inside the LVM. I'm not sure anymore. And then that's the boot, which it still shows to be down there. I'm not quite sure about all that. If I've got it doubled up or if it's, you know, it has to be shown like that. And then I just, when I added it in here, I forget what I did, but I gave it a mount point. All I did was give this a mount point, and then it showed up there like that. Boot. Okay. And that is in the right place and everything, though. I did that with GParted. I like GParted better. I can understand it better. This is cool, but it's just not the one I'm used to using. Okay. Now let's see if it will let me do that. And I went in and left it XFS because that's what it keeps doing every time. Okay, it's going to destroy all the other ones. It's going to be SDA2, swap, SDA3, okay. And then LVMG, Bishop Coacer. It says 2 roots. I don't know, I didn't give it 2 roots. Let's just say accept changes. I really don't quite understand the way they, write that out. Okay, now we have to select our software again. Oops, I'm trying to click on basic web server and I clicked on administration tools, which would be great, except for that's for, yeah, they're graphical. Headless management, no headless virtualization, I don't want that. I want headless management. Editors. There it is, headless management. I don't know about those. I mean, they would look good, but I don't know. Yeah. When I've checked on them, I didn't really find too many of them even in the GUI. Okay, let's look again. FTP is what I want. Load balancer, yes. That would be something if that was causing an error on the installation. But that worked on the SD card though. Yeah, I did it yesterday. So that shouldn't be anything to do with my problem. Okay. I'm going to say done with that. Now we are ready to install. Oh yeah, gotta do that again. Okay. Yeah, hitting enter doesn't do anything. I was afraid enter would mess it up, but it wouldn't. But so I went back one, and then it said passwords don't match, and then I put the letter in again, and it matched. Okay, now we'll do our user. All right. This time I think I duplicated the standard way of installing it, except for that the first partition is 20 megabytes in from the beginning of the drive. I think. I don't. Yeah, I don't. I'm pretty almost sure that if I just clicked automatic partitioning, it would just, start it at the beginning of the drive and do it the normal way, and I wouldn't be achieving what I'm trying to do, skipping the first part of the drive. The only reason I'm getting so tired now that I'm not sure about what I was just now doing, I'm just like, oh. So I knew I shouldn't have kept going, but I did. I couldn't help it. I could have helped it, I guess, but I didn't. I wish I knew how long it was taking from right here to the end, because I don't know why it's right here is when I need. Well, I was already starting to feel it, needing a break again, and but every time I do take that break right about here, I don't get back. It's done when I get back. Well, one time it wasn't. It was just almost done. I'd actually kind of like to see what it's saying in there if it starts to, get a clue about where it went wrong even. I think I'm going to actually have to take a break again. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I made it back before I was finished this time. So let me get set up and I'll get back on the mic. Working away at it. Put my lapels on this time, so I'll be ready. Yeah, last time I didn't put them on, and then I tried to talk, ready to talk on them. I didn't have them on. I went to try to talk on them. Didn't even have them on. My chair. Excuse me. Well, it's getting close to the installation of the packages, and so I don't exactly have no clue exactly where it aired out last time. So this time I'll be here to the bitter end, for the bitter end, or maybe it'll be a sweet beginning. Maybe we'll have a new operating system. I still don't know whether or not that frozen hard drive password thing, if it's just kind of cutting itself on and off or what. It really seemed weird to be locked, unlocked, locked, unlocked. And I don't know, maybe that is the error on the hard drive. I just now thought of that. Maybe it's the hard drive. I was thinking of the BIOS, being wonky or something, but maybe the hard drive is wonky and it's sending, one signal one time and another signal the next time back to the BIOS, and it's locked, or I'm locked, I'm unlocked. Maybe that's what's actually wrong with it. But either way, when this finishes, or if it airs out, that'll be it. I'm not doing any more tonight. I'm really tired now. I'm actually glad I can buy an SD card and everything, but or a bigger USB stick. It'd be kind of, in some ways, simpler to have a USB stick. It's bigger, and then build me a multi-boot on it. The nice thing about the SD card is it's really, really multifunctional. You can put that little thing in this adapter, the USB adapter, or the large, full-size SD card adapter. You can put it in different things that way, and it'll fit in the phone. So, and they are cheaper usually than USB sticks by, usually around $5, I guess, for the same size. But like I said the other day, that first USB adapter that I was using got to where it didn't want to work right. So I started using this one. It was, it was brand new in the little case. I mean, I had to open it and took it out and then put it back in there. Just kept it in the little cardboard plastic thing it comes in, cardboard with plastic on the front. That's what I do to kind of keep track of stuff and protect it and know what it is, and all that. Know the specs and stuff. But yeah, so and I haven't seen any. Well, I went back. The only ones I've ever seen that come with that USB adapter and the SD card adapter, or with a USB adapter, period, is those Strontiums. But they went up in price a lot and have stayed up every time I've looked at them. I got them for $15 for a 64 gigabyte with the USB and the SD adapter. And I think they're really better drives than the Wintex here. This is a Wintex that I've been using. Okay, yeah, now it's configuring the kernel core. I always read that out because I'm so used to having to do it. You can see it if you want to now. But I don't know. I mean, it seems so close you think it's going to work, but that's what I do remember, that it's always down right at the end, where every time I've ran it before, I don't remember it ever succeeding. I am kind of thinking, I'm not sure. I think I've had another drive, because I remember doing it in the garage. And I think that would have been on a desktop out there. I mean, the only time I really remember taking laptops outside to mess around with them was the ones that worked, taking them out there to use them to, like, check my email while I was working on other stuff outside and stuff like that. The ones with good screens and everything. I would go off and, well, I do have that other thing I wanted to look up. I kind of wanted to be there, to see what it says, but exactly when it errored, but I'm already getting tired of watching paint dry here. I think it's kind of good, but one good thing about, even when I had to take a break, leaving it on, when something is actually happening, even though it's boring, when the video's done, I can go back and fast forward through it, and if anybody's watching, while it's live you can, but once it's done, when someone comes along to the video, they can fast forward through the parts they don't want to skip ahead, through the parts they don't want to see, and get to the parts they might want to see. I do that. Most of the time I watch all of it, whatever video I'm watching, but sometimes if it gets into stuff that I don't, I just don't, I've seen it enough times, I don't want to see it or whatever, then I'll go skip ahead. Or sometimes I just don't like, some people, like I was watching one about building a cabin in the woods. I love stuff like that, and about first half of the video was about doing that. And then the guy sat down and started telling stories and stuff, and watched for a while. And I was eating, so I just kept on watching. And then I was like, I don't like this story. So I skipped ahead, and I'm like, well, I don't like any of this. So I didn't watch any of the rest of the video. So I'm sure that anybody would skip a lot of mine because they're so long. Surprisingly, Adrian, he's been watching a whole lot more of my videos than I would expect anybody to, because he mentions things in it that tells me that, especially of course I'm sure the part about rescue tucks and all that stuff, that what he develops, that's what he's interested in. But he he also mentioned some. We chatted a little bit this morning or this afternoon, whatever it was, before I started making videos, and just text chat, and he mentioned, I forget, he mentioned something about, me trying to figure out this drive and make this thing work, and he mentioned a couple of things, and he even sent me a screenshot of, well, I didn't understand what he was talking about. He sent me a screenshot off of like a Fedora documentation page or something about what he was talking about. And then I saw that he had seen a part of my video that I was surprised he even watched that much of it, because it was just like what I had been doing, And he was showing me that, he was trying to show me where I didn't set a mount point right or something. And I don't know if I answered him right or not, because I was getting confused between which video and what I was doing and that he was talking about. But anyway, so you never know how much or what somebody will watch and what they might be interested in. And so it's installing bootloader now. I think that's further than it must have got last time. Well, no, it did. It was saying stuff about. Well, it did it. Configure and install the system. It did say something about trying to install Grub before, and the errored out one. Generated iNet RAM FS. That's a good sign. Because I know from the successful installs on the SD card, even though it wouldn't boot, this is down towards the end. Because I have sat here through this part before several times. See, they give you something interesting down there to read while it's installing, but it's the same thing over and over. I guess they know you're not going to stay for very long, so they only give you enough for about 2 or 3 minutes. I have seen stuff in there that, well, like that right there. Ask FedoraProject.org. That's where you can go to get, answers and get help and stuff, documentation and stuff. So, which I'd forgotten about that. That one there, ask.fedoraproject.org. They have a lot of subdomains, and they're all different enough they're kind of hard to remember for me. The Fedora magazine, I don't know the URL of it, but the Fedora magazine has always got interesting stuff in it. And all I ever see on this one is the hot dog. Want to make Fedora better? We can help you. Help us join FedoraProject.org. Oh, okay. That's the one to try to get you to join it. I just see the hot dog, and that's all I ever see. I never read it. It's been there for years. So they've been using that one for years. Whoop, there we go. Woohoo! I didn't want to say anything yet. Now, will it work? We'll see. But it says it's done. It's successfully installed. Go ahead and reboot. So I'm going to hit the reboot. Let's see. How do I want to do this? Okay, I'm on this machine. Okay. And so I need to get over to that machine. So yeah, I'll get over there to it first because I can't do that fast enough. Well, first I need to change to the camera. So you will be able to see. It'll be blurry, but you'll be able to tell what's going on. Now, oh, I didn't hit reboot yet. I never have looked at that before. Let's see. Warning, theme parsing error. Property has been renamed to GTK key bindings. I don't know. That's to do with the VNC or what it is. See if I can get back over there. And I have to. Oh, now my machine. Am I on the right one? I think maybe I just lost connection to my mouse from flipping back and forth. There we go. Now, So I got to hit reboot. There we go. Now I'm on the camera already. I just have to switch over. There. If I made it. I think I might have made it in time. Oh, I forgot to take out the. So I'm gonna hard shut it down, take out the USB, and then boot it back up. But at least I don't think it actually matters a whole lot how you do it. But there's not a shutdown button. You know, you can't click shutdown from there. So I don't know if it's a good idea to hard shut it down with that reboot button up there. I kind of would be leery of doing that. I don't know. It shouldn't hurt anything, but I don't think it, you know, really, I don't think it does anything more than just send a reboot signal back to the machine. Okay, there it is. Got the first kernel and the rescue kernel. Well, it's starting to come up on the laptop screen. There we go. Hit a key so we can watch the terminal window. Looks like it's booting just fine, and I was about ready to quit and not try again, not even tomorrow, you know. And then I had it on my mind so much, even though I knew I was tired, I just thought, you know what, I could quit, but I don't think I can stop thinking about it to go to sleep for a long time. So I thought, well, I might as well try it again. Yeah, you never know when it's time to quit. Okay, it's up. Doesn't say the IP like it used to do. I guess Fedora 28. No, it's Fedora 29 on the other machine. It always said the IP address. It just says localhost 9098. Now maybe it does it after you log in or something. I don't know, but it does work if you know the IP. I'm going to go back to my machine and we'll just look at it on Cockpit. Let's see. And get the terminal, get the this thing here, this thing I'm looking at, get it opened up. I was wondering no, it's been way too long. Yeah, I've been too many places since then. Let's see. But if I start typing 192, there we go. No, not 153. This is 184 or something. Can't remember what it is. 182. I think it's 182. That's not it. I'll have to go find it in the remote desktop app or something. Yep, the connection is not secure. Do you want to do this? Yes, yes I do. Go to advanced. Well, you can't just say yes, you have to say advanced. And I thought I was showing that the last time, and I had it on camera and instead of desktop. And so 82, add exception, confirm security exception. Let's log in. Yeah, I already have it in my bookmarks. Okay, let's go in as root. Since I made a regular user, you can go in as Dawn too if you don't need to do anything special. But really, pretty much anything you need to do from here, you probably need to be root. Whoops. Okay, checking for updates, which there shouldn't be any because it all got downloaded the newest, versions as it was building it. And So let's look at the logs. I do not know what that's even for. Oh, it's just a little graphic readout. Memory, network, I/O. Thing about that is it's all printed and everything, but Acer.local domain, but it uses up too many resources. Hard, you can just anything in here uses up quite a bit of resources, and your machine, my machine will feel it. This quad core will feel it. Everything in Firefox anymore almost uses up a lot of resources. Now look, there's only 2 errors this time instead of the whole 5 or 6 or whatever that was in the SD card on the USB adapter. Yeah, timeout too large. DHCP client is DHC client, but if you look in it, it is what it is the DHCP client app, wherever it says it. It's System Network Manager Service, evidently, is what it has to do with. I've looked at it in another area somewhere and saw that. And then this here, what's this? Oh, the failed smart self-check backup data now with an exclamation point. That's why I kind of wanted to do it with btrfs, because I thought maybe it would keep marking out the bad sector. Well, it does. It's a software RAID basically. It backs up everything, and that would actually be great. But I was afraid it wouldn't work, and it wouldn't install, and so I went ahead and did the standard way that it does it. If this runs, well, I guess you won't know until it breaks, but again, I've had drives that said imminent failure, and I've been running them for 5 years. But I don't run them every day, though. That's the big difference. This one I'm not trying to make a server. So if I don't feel like it's going to keep running, then at least I'll have a machine, have it as a machine that runs, and I know that I can. Well, I wouldn't play with it a lot. It seems to be so hard to get anything on it and get it to install. I wouldn't just use it as one to test things on, because it'd probably fail. Trying to see the smart D. Yeah, this is the smart test. Yeah, see, it couldn't do a smart test on that SD card, which I don't think they support that. It's the problem with that. I think I've seen that before on other things. Other testing systems that said this device does not support, smart test. So I don't really see anything, especially with me being tired, but that's what it says right there. Failed smart self-check backup data now. It's yelling at you. It's in all caps. I'm trying to build a new server on this. What are you trying to tell me it's not a good idea? It's not a good idea. So even though I'm seated, everything in the world tells me that this is a bad idea to make a server on this. But you don't have, just because you install a server on it doesn't mean you have to. You can put a desktop on it and use it as a desktop machine, and you'll have networking. You'll have SFTP already installed, and it automatically switches to the wireless if you unplug the wired, and which I guess any desktop would do that anyway. But well, it will. But what I like about it is it prefers the wireless. Even though they're both there, which every other laptop I've seen does the opposite. So then when you're trying to watch your videos, they start caching on you. That's how come I figured all that out. Started experimenting to figure it out. So it sees the hard drive and the optical drive, and it's not, the boot drive that I installed from is not there anymore, so it wouldn't see it. 229 gigabytes, that's how much space it's got to work with. Down there it says 233 gigabytes. Oh, I guess that's full size, altogether. Networking. And there's a little traffic because it's probably still checking for updates. And then the firewall rules. I just do it right now, I guess. I was say I was going to wait, but HTTP, I need HTTP and HTTPS. And I went through this in detail, and I didn't need anything else. So all I need is port 80 and port 443. Back to networking. Okay, accounts. Me and the root. services, and I have to go through here and turn on. Actually, I think I remember. Very secure FTP daemon. It's inactive dead. I need to active. It's already enabled and everything when I go in there. So then I just need to start it. Now there is one thing I don't know. I got to thinking, I was looking at it. Now you can. I tried doing it forcefully one time because something wouldn't start, and so I think it's. I don't remember if it did it, but anyway, I think I had a problem. So anyway, now that right there, I'm not sure, but preset. I don't remember that until I just saw it, but I don't know if you have to hit preset to get it to always start when you boot. So I'm going to do it the way it was set there, and just leave it on. It's on enabled, and I think maybe. Really, that's all you have to do. So after a reboot, if it's not up and running again, then I'll probably presets the next one I would try. It's the only other one that sounds like it would. If you needed to do something different to make it stay, with a reboot, that would be it. And then I need, that was FTP. Now I need HTTPD, the Apache web server. Need to start it. Okay, now it should start up in a minute. There we go. It's up and running. See, now I'm too tired to do it tonight. I did it last night because I had thoughts of getting it online and, seeing if. Then I thought, well, I better not get my server online. I put my server on. I copied my whole website over there and did it all. And then it crashed about before I even finished shutting everything else down. I was going to let it run but not be online to see if it would make it. Well, it didn't make it. So this time, I think I will let it run. Matter of fact, I will let it run, but I'm not going to put my website on it, or try to put it online. I mean, as in online, what I mean, my server online to be seen on the internet. That's what I mean. Is online as in on, connected to the internet. But so let's see, HTTP. I can't say that. Running. The template thing is not something you deal with. Okay, so there's only those two. So that's, oh yeah, that one-time temporary key. TLS key generation. I did go in there. It's already done. I think it may do it when I started up Apache. I may just say Apache. I don't know why the process is named HTTPD instead of Apache. That's the way it is, because it's actually the Apache web server. The Apache HTTP server. See, service is HTTPD. Okay. Yeah, that's all there is to that part. Let's see, and I forgot to look at. Very secure FTP, very secure FTPD, some kind of template, service, daemon, it's active and running, and the template thing, you don't do anything with it anyway. I'm looking to the right to see what you do with them. Okay, so that's all up and going now. So now I can FTP into it, and I can copy my SFTP into it, copy my website over. There's no applications installed or available. I wonder if you reload it, if anything will show up. There's these little applications, and I installed a couple on I think it was one of the servers. I think it was Fedora 23, but then I didn't see what the heck I could do with them. I think what they are is add-ons for Cockpit. Now that I reloaded it, there may be something that'll come up. I don't know. I didn't see that reloader yesterday, but it would have just wasted more time. I think if I go off of it, it'll quit, and I'd have to start over, so I'm going to try to wait on it. It's weird. It goes forward and back, forward and back. Yeah, nope, yeah, nope. What else there? No, wait, just kidding. But, yeah, it's checking for new applications, so try to wait there. Well, it didn't seem to find any. Well, it isn't quite done yet, so let's hang on. Well, seems like I remember this. Oh, okay, it is done. Okay, no, there are none, so I don't know. There were some but I think it was the Fedora 29 and it's on the Net Pro Max. I don't know why there's not any. Maybe because there's other things I installed, you know, too. The updates, system is up to date. Automatic updates off. Actually, I want them on. Oh, it's got to be DNF automatic needs to be installed, but it's doing it for you. All right, you just click. Cool. Definitely want your server always up to date, all the security updates and everything. That reminds me. I turned off automatic updates and froze, found a way to, an app, or not an app, well, a way to freeze the updates of OBS Studio because it wouldn't run. It kept crashing. I went back to a previous version, froze it, and then I never did turn my updates back on because I was afraid it wouldn't work, you know, and then I forgot it. The server kept having trouble with it, and I started forgetting about it. So but now there's a remote terminal you can use from here, and you can just log in, you know, with whatever user and do, like say, if I wanted to, oh, I'm already in his root. Yeah, I don't have to. DNF install MC Midnight Commander. Then I can go through the file system. It's twin panel file manager, works a lot like Crusader, except for it has all the features Crusader's missing, FTP and all that stuff, SFTP. Do I want to install it? It's a small application, but it runs inside the terminal. I mean, I guess I could. It'll run in the GUI too. Well, I mean, it's a GUI looking app. It works like a GUI. It is a GUI. What else? Oh, I got to import a GPG key. Do you want to do that? I knew it was small and it shouldn't take long. Even though I'm tired, that's why I thought to do it. And I thought, let's do it right now. And yeah, you know, I ought to put that. I may just put that. I don't think it's on this system. I don't think you can. I don't know if you can run it in the GUI or not. You may have to run it in the terminal. I need to check that out because I can use it to get more used to it because I've been using it more. There it is. I could use it to do these transfers. I don't like that other one very well. I make mistakes with it too much. Let's see. What did I say? MC. There it is. So you can. The only thing you can't do is you can't start typing and go to the next folder and stuff things that I like to do, things like that. Let's see, boot, okay, home, there's home done. So say it's just on that same partition, and then var, yeah, if you type www, it doesn't do anything. Whoops, or www HTML, that's where I will be putting my website. And then, let's see, tab over. This is kind of like, well, I guess what a DOS. Well, I don't remember what they called them, but in DOS, it's like the ones they had in DOS back before Windows, right before Windows 3.1. Or, I don't know, maybe way before Windows 3. I think there was apps that looked just about like this in a TRS-80, you know, the Radio Shack TRS-80. But, oh yeah, let's see. Root. There's not much in root, and you really don't need to store files in there either. If I was going to store any files on here, I would just put them in home done. There's not any directories made, looks like, you know, like documents and stuff, but I can do that myself. And since this is a server, it doesn't set it up just the way that, and I guess that's why it broke, because I was trying to set up the partitions the way you do for the regular. There's more difference between the server and the, you know, desktop version than I realized, evidently. etc network manager X11 config D keyboard. Yeah, there's not going to be an X11 config because I don't have a graphic desktop on it. Okay, so anyway, not really anything I need to mess around with. Just thought I'd look through it. Media mount. Of course, things don't mount in there anymore. They mount in run media, but I don't think the folder media is never there unless you have something mounted. Really weird. But see, I can go through here. You can go through this nice and fast. And oh, and I was thinking about that. Okay, so let's say I wanted to F9 is pull down. So we wanted to do an SFTP link. Then I would put in my SFTP, and then I think it'll ask for the password and all that stuff. And for root. See if it works. It's up. The machine is up and running. So did it work so fast I didn't see? Not sure. I don't think it went there yet. That's this machine. Unless it's on the other side, but no, it's on the. It might not have worked. Should have been. I thought it was going to ask me for. Well, no, it was trying to log in as root, but. Or maybe I don't allow that on that machine, and it just didn't do it. It's the only thing I can figure. Yeah, I probably don't allow that. You can do SMB, the Windows networking. You can do a shell. I don't know what a shell link is. Maybe it brings up a remote shell for you. Penalize, I don't know what that is. FTP link. I'm going to click on that one more time. Let's see. F1 for details. There we go. It says FTP file transfer. User at machine port remote directory. Okay, the user, port, and remote directory elements are optional. If you specify a user element, Midnight Commander will try to log in. Our machine is that user. Otherwise, it will use your login name. Port, specify the port used by. 22 is default. That's what I wanted anyway. If remote directory element is present, your current directory remote machine will be. Remote directory element is present, your current directory will be set. Okay. There's some examples. Only wish. Joe password. Joe compressed. Oh, okay. They're using your domain names instead of IP addresses. But I know you can use IP addresses. But the only thing I don't know is I could have just typed the password wrong too. Let's see. Oh, it was the name. Let's just try. I almost forgot what I just saw, but I think it was Dawn. That's usually the way it is, Dawn at, and either the host name or the IP address, password. Yeah. Now we're in it. See, it shows you that you're in it. So I either mistyped the password, it wouldn't, or I have it set to not allow login as root, because it defaulted to root. Uh-oh. Now what? I think it might have went back. I don't know if I went back to this machine or... Yeah, I did. So how do I stay in the machine I was in? And then again, that could have been what happened right there. Huh. So I did something wrong in the navigation. It's different, that's for sure. Well, media, it's not in there. Oops. I'm just clicking in everything, just run. Maybe it's in run media. No media. There's a mount, but there's nothing in there. Well, I don't know how come it went out of it. The reason I was interested in that is because, well, I'm going to copy it from my machine though, because my machine has the newest version. The Red Black Battlestar is the machine I'm got into. It has a backup on my website too, but I think it'd be too old. I don't think it's been updated. But what I don't understand is how I lost that login there. I lost my SFTP link. Now that'll just do it again. Now I'm in there. But as soon as I went into another folder, I was out of there. So I don't know what to do about that. Actually, I want media. Okay, now that's still in it. I must have just clicked on the exact wrong thing to mess it up. There we go. Now see, this is where you wish you could say, and it would start going to it. That doesn't work either. So you just have to keep paging through until you see what you're looking for. Whoops. Why can't I go in there? Wonder why I can't go in there. Huh. Should have permissions to go in there. Just hitting enter. Oh, I forgot about that. ZimWiki. I used to run that, a wiki that, well, it was kind of for taking notes and stuff. But it's a website, a wiki website. And I don't remember why the folder, some of it needed to be there on my home directory, but I had it set up where you could get to it on the web and edit it. I actually used it a little bit just for my own self. And I like, maybe once or twice, my old neighbor who gave me some of these old machines, you know, like put something up for him to see and said you can write on it, you know, but I think he just looked at it and he didn't do anything, you know. Okay, I don't know what's going on. It's lost its ability to, maybe I lost the connection, or maybe I've made 2 connections or something. I don't know. Let's see. I've used it in copied files before. Let's see, F10 is quit. I think I'll do that. That'll get me out of everything. Tired. There we go. Took me back to the terminal. So there's a little bit of working in the terminal in Cockpit. I actually like using just a real remote terminal better because you have all the full features. It's not a full-featured terminal. It doesn't do everything that a terminal does, a regular terminal. But all this other stuff is very more than adequate. You can do a lot and pretty easily in here. So let's go back to the home page here. Okay, so trying to think. Well, I still have the area over there where I can set it like I did last night. I guess that's what I'll do. We'll see if it keeps running or not this time. I'm going to bet it will, because the last time I think it didn't keep running and it errored out because I'd installed it on the SD card and the SD adapter and in the SD slot, and then I took that little SD card and put it in the USB adapter, and yeah, it booted, but it did have errors, about 5 errors. That one of them was about disk cache write through, and I'll bet you that finally made it crash. It needed to be able to do that, and it couldn't. So yeah, I don't want to. Trying to say usually I don't log out. I guess you can just close the browser. It doesn't really matter. Then you'll be logged out after a while. Probably not even a minute. But I guess I will just go ahead and quit here. I made a video of me putting it up there yesterday, and of course no use in making that video really, so I guess there's no sense in doing that again. And I actually already need another break again, so it's time to quit for the night. There we go. I actually finally got Fedora 29 server installed on the old Acer laptop on its hard drive of all things, and it may very well be exactly because that tip that Adrian, he's a developer of the Rescue Tux, and I forgot the name of the other app when he builds other rescue Super Grub Disk. Rescue Tux and Super Grub Disk. He had been watching one of my videos, and he made some comments and we got to talking back and forth. We did live chat in one video, and we've been kind of talking back and forth. We were going to do it again, I think. Well, we were going to do it again, but I don't know, he got busy or something, and anyway, I went ahead and did the tests for him that he tested his new SP6, I think it is, or something. Rescue Tux 6 something that he's working on right now, and found out it couldn't mount Ext4s, and so he's thinking about what he needs to do. He wants to do that, and he wants to see about how to go about doing it. So probably going to go to a newer. Well, I think he said that Debian 10 was supposed to be able to do that, and this was Debian 9, and it couldn't. So we'll see how it turns out. But so anyway, Adrian gave me the tip about starting your first partition like 10 or even 20 megabytes in and leaving a blank space at the beginning of the drive, because that's where the drive keeps hard drives keeps writing over and over and over. This is a regular hard drive, as they call spinning disk, and they'll wear out there sometimes first, and so maybe that even though it has imminent failure, everything that sees it tells you, we'll see, maybe it'll run a while longer. I don't know about leaving, actually using it as my server. This is the thing I'm getting tired of. A few months ago, my IBM that had ran for years perfectly on Fedora 23 with no hitches. Well, first the fan started making noise, and I took it down and found another fan. I didn't want to go buy one because these are old machines and I have other old machines. I thought, well, I found one, and I had a few brand new fans too. I think it was a CPU fan, and I had a brand new CPU fan, but it was a 4-pin. And the machine only accepted it was made for 3 pins. You could put a 4-pin on it, but then it runs at full blast and it's loud. And so then I thought, okay, I'll go get the I got the Net Pro Max. I thought it'll make a good server, and I really wanted a 64-bit so I could try out some. Well, first I was wanting to try out Docker, but now Fedora's moved on from Docker. I think now their new thing is Atomic. that's kind of, you can have, I don't want to say virtual, I forget the exact way they describe it, but you run them you run apps in a sandbox, and they're sort of, I don't know that they're necessarily virtualized, but anyway, and right now I'm try to remember what it was I've read about it. But anyway, I wanted to try some of this stuff out, and the ones I wanted to try out were meant to be on servers, so not really for desktops. I don't know how much of it things like that they actually have that are too useful for desktop machines, but I actually did install it on. It let me install it on that 32-bit IBM, but then I couldn't run it. I tried to turn it on in the cockpit, couldn't, and so then, but it was still installed on there. So this time, I thought I'd try it on here on the Net Pro Max, and it was running along really well for I think a month, and I just had a couple more things. I kept getting off to other things, and I had a couple more. Well, I had fans kept breaking and everything. I just haven't had to work on the Red Black BioStar. I've had fan trouble with it 2 or 3 times now, and I've got the video card out of it right now, and the fan's bad again. I had a brand new fan in it, and I ran it for, how long did I run it? A month or 2 as my server. All this was going on, and this fan wore out. It's just screaming like a banshee. It don't even want to spin. So now I think I'm going to put a heat sink on it and not have a fan. Unless it, well, if I do, I'm afraid it might overheat though. It may not be big enough, and it's the only one I've got. But they're up there. I'm looking at them, but I'm not going to grab them. I'll just get me to talking more. So anyway, I'm going on. So I'm going to go and I'm going to leave that Acer laptop running tonight. Is what I think I'll do, and then if it's still running good, then it might tempt me to actually try, really using it for a server. Thing is, I don't want something not dependable. And I don't guess I ever finished saying the Net Pro Max sitting behind me. I took it out from where it's been setting up here to maybe take it apart and work on it. The Ethernet, onboard Ethernet quit working. And the reason I needed it out is I thought, well, I can put a regular PCI Ethernet card in it. I have a couple of them I could try out in it. But it was a gigabit, and that was cool. And I was actually thinking, after I realized it was a gigabit, I didn't realize it till after I put Fedora 29 on it. I thought, well, heck, I could make that a backup server and, take my hard drives out of those. I'm always worried about losing data because of those cables are so easy to come loose, on those Seagate boxes, Seagate USB boxes. I thought, well, it has SATAs. I think it only has 2, but it has 2 SATAs in it, if I remember right. And I've got 2 drives. So, but now if that thing has really gone bad, it could be that a software update, made it quit working. So that's what I need to figure out, if it's hardware or software. So anyway, going in circles, but getting something done once in a while. All right, see you later.